protecting IDF tanks in the field. One key factor in this success story is the Trophy active protection system developed by Rafael. We spoke with one of the executives there about operational performance and the international market for this life-saving system. Let's watch. Dan Kalfus, Managing Director, EuroTrophy at Rafael Advanced Systems. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. So we're seeing your systems being deployed heavily in Gaza in the current operation, current war. Share with us some thoughts, details that you get from inside.
Yeah, well, you can see Trophy is being deployed right now in great numbers. There's many platforms inside, many armored vehicles, both main battle tanks like the Merkava and also the Namer APC, getting in the open terrain, a very packed terrain, very dangerous with a lot of anti-tank ambushes. And so far we've seen the system is proven itself, as it has done in the past, both with close range threats and with enabling actually the maneuver inside the strip. I think this is the main thing which is important now, which I would like to address now, is the maneuverability of the tanks and the APCs inside the open terrain. And this is one of the key capabilities Trophy grants you.
Furthermore, then, there have been many thoughts whether in such a condensed area with so many threats, tanks, APCs will be able to maneuver as expected. And we are seeing dozens of threats simultaneous, both long-range anti-tank missiles, Cornet, and short-range RPG, mainly RPG-29. And your system, the Trophy, is coping better than expected.
Well, I won't say better than expected. I would say as expected. And we show and tell why it does, and it fulfills the promises in the end, and we work hard for that. And that is taking some years to mature the system. It's very important to have a mature system when you talk about life and death situations, and this is one of these situations. And besides being able to protect the platforms and the troops inside of them, in addition to that, there's also protecting the mission. And here the mission is to maneuver in order to deprive the enemy of its capabilities. This is what exactly we are doing with Trophy. This is a key capability we are granting the troops in the field. And you talked about RPGs and Cornets. These are some of the threats we are handling, and we are seeing these threats all around the world, not just now with the IDF. And we are really able to cope with that.
We'll touch the global markets and the global wars in a second, but staying in the Gaza Strip, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Trophy system was deployed 2009 or so, and first kill was 2011, if I'm not wrong. But this is the first actual full condensed war, whereas you're seeing dozens, hundreds of threats, simultaneous ones on all the armored corps, and the war questions whether tanks should be active in such a war, in such a place, such as the Gaza Strip, whereas you have so many people in such a small place. That gives the answer.
Yeah, definitely. I think each operation, both here in Israel and abroad, we can see tanks are being deployed. They still fulfill a very important job or mission, and they live up to it. And I think Trophy, or active protection systems as Trophy, grant you these capabilities which are really important in these condensed areas. I think living together with infantry, main battle tanks and APCs together in such a condensed area is a challenging task for any system, for any army, and Trophy definitely, so far we've seen, well, I would say, performances advertised as said. So, and I think that the soldiers see it too. You saw, I think, interviews with division commanders and both with chief of staff saying how well protected are these platforms and how well the maneuverability is right now.
Furthermore, all of them enter the Gaza Strip.
Correct.
In a Namer APC or in a Merkava tank, as well as I did, entering the middle of Gaza, the Shati refugee camp, with a Namer protected with a Trophy. What do you hear from the troops themselves?
We won't go into details exactly about these or that operations, but I will say that we have great numbers of successful threats interceptions so far, and I think the results, the operational results we are hearing on, or we can see on the media as well, they are a result of that. Without active protection system, without Trophy, you will not be able to achieve these goals, and you will not have the freedom of action to maneuver in that safety inside.
Obviously, it's a major point of interest, not only for us and our allies, but our enemies as well, because killing a tank or killing an APC gives a huge win or trophy to our enemies, because they're not only taking out a tank or an APC, but killing a lot of soldiers at the same time. Do you see them busy with that? Busy with your system?
I think the other side and our enemies in that case, looking at depriving Trophy and the tanks and the APCs out of their capabilities, so far with none to minimal success on their side. And I think this is something that since 2014, since the last real operation with the maneuvering forces inside the strip, this is the second time now we see these forces, and they have learned about the system. They take that into consideration, but still we have also learned, and we've improved the system since then. Since Trophy was first deployed, it has been improved over and over again, and the IDF, and as well as other customers and users around the world, have witnessed improvements in the system, enhancements in the system to cope with new threats.
For any of our viewers who is not familiar with the Trophy system, which is largely exposed within the last decade, share some details regarding the system.
Yeah, so Trophy is what is called an active protection system. Pretty much it intercepts in a standoff distance RPGs, ATGMs like Cornet, for example, that we've talked about. And these kind of threats, when you take them out in a standoff distance and not on the platform, which was usually done before the invention of APS, that allows to minimize the damage to the platform and to the troops and actually protect them. That is done in a quite sophisticated way. We cannot share all the details, but along with protecting the troops, it also allows you to pinpoint your shooter, the shooter of the ATGM or RPG, and actually
eliminate them.
Eliminate them. Yeah, you actually create targets on the go. And that is a great combination, both of protection and being able to attack back and destroy the enemy.
Which we mainly see on a northern front with Hezbollah using the Cornet rockets for a much larger range and the ability to give the IDF, the Israeli army, the ability to kill our enemies.
That happens in all terrain, I would say, and the capability has been proven so far in the past and also in this operation right now, in both fronts. And that's a standard of our system. That's one of the key capabilities of our system, and we introduce that with any new platform that is getting Trophy. That is a key capability we stress our customers and our users to use. And it's proven. You see how well it works.
So beforehand, we've touched our enemies. Let's speak about our allies. You've sold your system to the Americans, to the Germans, to the Brits, to the major tank suppliers, manufacturers in the world. Most of them didn't practically deploy it in a war, so they're looking at us saying, okay, what do you learn? What do you know? What can you tell us?
Definitely.
What do you tell them?
So I think first everybody see the current operation, the use of Trophy. Also, I think the lack of APS and the lack of Trophy in the Ukraine-Russia war also gives you an example what happens if you maneuver without an APS, without a mature APS such as Trophy. And our allies, the Brits, the Germans and others, see their main battle tanks, the Leopard and the Challenger, being deployed in Ukraine against Russian threats, which are similar to what we see in this arena in Israel, and being destroyed. Firstly, again, being destroyed meaning destroying the platform and destroying the troops inside, but also depriving Ukraine from maneuvering. And this is something that our allies look closely on, and we try and share the messages and lessons learned. We are still in the midst of the operation, so it's hard to say lessons learned in this timing, but we are learning on the go.
One last question regarding supplies. We're in a war in Israel, so obviously your supply chain is packed with demands from the IDF because most of the systems are heavily deployed in Gaza, and you need more and more new ammunition to come on. How do you keep on supplying our allies, your customers overseas?
Yeah, so 2 years ago we've established EuroTrophy as a joint venture company in Germany, in Europe, and we've established production lines as well as other maintenance services and so on to help that security of supply of active protection systems as well as any important military equipment is key on winning any war. And we see that now in Europe. That's one of the I think great aspects of having a trophy in Europe, and this is why we established EuroTrophy.
Dan, thank you so much.